Lance Smith, also known as Claysmile, is the owner of Claysmile Entertainment, a talent agency of dancers and motivational speakers who focus on exhilarating and inspiring audiences to become the best version of themselves and to enjoy the process along the way. As a published author of several books, his most recent book is Count It All Joy. Lance graduated from the University of Maryland with a degree in accounting. He worked as an auditor for the federal government for over 6 years. In 2007, he became a CPA, which is a certified public accountant. In 2010, he decided to resign from his government job in order to focus full-time on operating his consulting and performance company, Claysmile Entertainment. Through Claysmile, Lance delivers presentations and programs that exhilarate and inspire people to elevate the level of mental, emotional, physical, and financial health. In addition, he runs a bookkeeping business called Claysmile Advisors. Please join me in welcoming Claysmile.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your teacher for allowing me to come in today and share this message with you. Really excited to be here with you all today. Really grateful for this experience. I want to ask you for a huge favor. So that we have a system in place where you can give constant feedback throughout this presentation, please do this for me. I know this may seem a little awkward, but it really does add a lot of energy to the presentation. Please do this. Whenever I say holler if you hear me, if at that moment you're understanding and agreeing with what I'm saying, then please shake your fingers like this, okay? Let's test this out. Holler if you hear me. Shake it. Yes, 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 yes. I love it. I love it. I love it. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I appreciate that. Now, I'd like to start by sharing with you this story. I heard this story told by the speaker T.D. Jakes about a little boy out in the Midwest who wanted to see an eagle fly. So he gets a pair of binoculars and goes out to a large open field and he's watching and finally he spots an eagle, and the eagle is flying higher and higher and higher. Then all of a sudden the eagle stops in midair and it begins to fall and flap and fall and flap and fall and flap. Finally it disappears out of sight. And the little boy says to himself, "What happened to the eagle? Did someone shoot the eagle? I didn't hear a gun." And the little boy walks for about a mile in order to find where the eagle had landed. And finally he found the eagle. The eagle is laid down, nose in the dirt. The eagle is dead. And the little boy says to himself, "What killed the eagle?" The little boy turns the eagle over, and there, affixed to the eagle's chest, is a weasel, a little animal. And the weasel has bitten into the heart of the eagle. And the little boy says to himself, "Now I see what happened to the eagle. The eagle had picked up a weasel and did not let it go." And that's very symbolic to our lives. Because every single day of our lives, we all pick up weasels. And weasels come in many different forms. There are weasels in the form of negative thoughts, weasels in the form of bad habits, weasels in the form of unhealthy addictions, weasels in the form of fears and worries and stress and frustration and anger and insecurities. We all pick up weasels. And if we don't drop the weasels will drop us. Holler if you hear me. Yes, yes, drop the weasels. Let go of the weasels. Let go of things that are trying to eat at you. Let go of things that are trying to separate you from your source of peace and joy. Let them go, because either you drop them or they will drop you. And I'm so excited to be here with you guys today, because in this presentation I'm going to share with you some tips that we all can use to drop the weasels and fly like an eagle. And as you listen to this presentation, whenever you hear a quote that you like, please write it down on your piece of paper labeled notes. So for those of you that may have come a little bit later, everyone, you should have one piece of paper, you tear it in half, label one piece notes, other piece feedback. Whenever you hear a quote that you like, please write it down on your notes piece of paper. That's very important, because towards the end of this presentation, we're going to do an activity, and each person will need to have a list of their favorite quotes written down on their notes piece of paper. Now, I'd like to share with you something very personal. And I used to be very embarrassed about this, but no longer am I embarrassed about it, so I want to share it with you. You see, although I am a professional, right, I graduated from college with a degree in accounting and became a CPA, right, a certified public accountant. Although I am a professional, I'm still in the process of overcoming reading challenges. I had severe reading problems when I was growing up. And although things have improved, I'm still in the process of overcoming those reading challenges. And I'm not embarrassed to admit it, because I realize that in order to overcome a problem, We must embrace the struggle. Holler if you hear me. Yes, yeah. So I embrace my struggles. And I realize that it's okay if some people look down on me. It's okay if some people think of me as being a little slow or dumb. It's okay because I realize now that other people's opinions of me do not have to become my reality. I realize now that my value as a human being always stays the same regardless of how other people treat me. To really make this point clear, let me share with you this illustration. How much is this worth? $1, right? $1. But what if I take this dollar bill and crumble it up and throw it on the floor and stomp on it? How much is it worth now? It's still worth $1. Regardless of how I just treated this dollar bill, its value stayed the same. I crumbled it up, I threw it on the floor, I stomped on it, I put dirt on it, but yet its value stayed the same. And the same thing goes with you, me, and all of the human beings. Regardless of how other people treat us, regardless of what other people think about us or say about us or do to us, regardless of whatever happens to us in our lives, our value stays the same. Because our value is something the world did not give to us, and so therefore it's something that the world cannot take away. Holler if you hear me. Yes. It's amazing how just by changing our perspective, our whole life changes. Even a small shift in our perspective makes a huge change in our life. To really make this point clear, let's do this group activity. This will blow your mind. Everyone, please take your right index finger and point it straight up towards the ceiling. It has to be above your head. Now look up at the ceiling and imagine that on the ceiling there's a clock face. Now rotate your finger in a clockwise motion. Go clockwise motion. Now continue that same motion, but now bring your arm down, all the way down so it's below your chin. So you're looking down at your finger. And realize now, you're no longer going clockwise. You're now going counterclockwise, aren't you? Isn't that cool? Let's try that again. Clockwise motion. And bring your arm all the way down, and realize now you're going counterclockwise. So somebody tell me, our finger did not change, and the motion of our finger did not change. What was the only thing that changed? Please type it into the chat box. What was the only thing that changed? Our finger did not change, and the motion of our finger did not change. What was the only thing that changed? Please type it into the chat box. Yes, perspective. Perspective was the only thing that changed. And it's amazing how whenever we change our perspective, our whole life changes. So here's the message. Here's the lesson. Here's the point. Whenever you are feeling sad about anything, and when I say sad, I don't mean like extreme cases of depression, that's like a medical situation. I just mean like regular, common, typical, everyday sadness. Whenever you're feeling sad about anything, always ask yourself, what else can this mean? What else can this mean? What's another way in which I can look at this circumstance? What's another perspective that I can have on this situation? What else can this mean? I guarantee you, asking yourself that question is a very useful tool that can help us to overcome sadness. It's a very useful tool that can help us to manage our emotions. Whenever you are feeling sad about anything, always ask yourself, what else can this mean? Is this the end? Or is this the beginning? It's all a matter of perspective. Am I being punished? Or am I being rewarded? It's all a matter of perspective. Is this a problem? Or is this a personal development exercise that is designed to prepare me to achieve my purpose and my destiny in life? It's all a matter of perspective. Holler if you hear me. Yes. Problems are just personal development exercises that are designed to prepare us to achieve our purpose and our destiny in life. You know, as I think back over my childhood, I realized that in a way, I'm grateful for my bullies, because my bullies strengthened me and prepared me to achieve my purpose and my destiny in life. The emotional abuse that they put me through was really a gift. It tore me down for a moment, but over time it built me up like gold, purified through fire. Holler if you hear me. Yes. To really make this point clear, let me share with you this story. It's a story about a water carrier who had 2 large pots, each hung on the ends of a pole which he carried across his neck. One of the pots had a crack in it, while the other pot was perfect. Each day at the end of the long walk from the water stream back to the house, the perfect pot always delivered a full portion of water, but the broken pot always delivered only half a pot of water. because the other half of its water would always leak out through the crack that was in its side all the way back to the house. This continued on for years. And of course, the perfect pot felt proud of itself. Felt like a high achiever, it felt successful, had very high self-esteem, it felt good about itself. But the broken pot felt ashamed of itself and felt miserable. And one day by the water stream, the broken pot spoke out to the water carrier and said, I'm ashamed of myself because this crack in my side, it causes water to leak out all the way back to your house. I'm no good. I'm inferior. I've been broken. I've been broken by some things that have happened to me in the past. You see, I've been through some bad experiences that have hurt me so much, and now I have all these insecurities. I have all of these issues that are holding me down and holding me back, and I'll never be able to succeed. I'm sick. And I'll never be made well. So you should just destroy me because my life has no meaning and no purpose. And then the water carrier responded to the broken pot and said, did you notice that there were flowers only along your side of the path and not along the other pot's side? That is because I've always known about your flaw, and I planted flower seeds all along your side of the path. And each day as we walk back from the water stream, the water that leaks out through the crack in your side waters these flowers. And for years now, I've been able to pick these beautiful flowers to make the world a more beautiful place. Without you being just the way you are, there would not be this beauty to grace the world. I love that story because it's a reminder to us that even the cracks in our lives are there for a reason. Even the cracks in our lives, even the flaws, the imperfections, the challenges, the struggles, the obstacles, the insecurities, the disappointments, even the cracks in our lives are there for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. Although often we don't understand what that reason is as we're going through the process. But one day we will be able to look back and clearly understand that it was all part of a beautiful plan. One day we will be able to look back and see the bigger picture. And there's always a bigger picture. There's always a bigger picture. Everything that goes on in our life, it's all part of a bigger picture. But one of the most challenging things about life is that often we can't see the picture because we're standing in the frame. Holler if you hear me. Often in life, we can't see the picture because we're standing in the frame. But one day we will be able to look back and clearly see the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is a beautiful picture. To really make this point clear, let me share with you another story. It's a story about a store owner who put a large sign on top of the front door of his store. And the sign read, "Puppies for sale." And almost immediately, a little boy comes into the store full of enthusiasm and asks, "How much are the puppies?" The store owner replied, "Anywhere between $30 to $50 per puppy." The little boy dug deep into his pocket and he pulls out $1.37. And he says, "All I have is $1.37, but can I see the puppies?" The store owner smiled and then whistled, and out from the kennel came a group of puppies running down the aisle of the store. But there was one puppy that was lagging behind all the others because it was limping. It was limping along. The little boy noticed that puppy that was limping, and the little boy asked, "What's wrong with that puppy?" The store owner explained how the veterinarian had examined that puppy and had noticed that that puppy was missing a hip socket. So it would always be lame. It would always limp. The little boy got excited and said, "That's the puppy that I want to buy." Store owner said, "No, you don't want to buy that puppy. That puppy limps. That puppy has issues. In fact, I plan to just give away that puppy for free because that puppy does not have any value." The little boy got upset and said, "That puppy is as valuable as all the other puppies. And I will pay you full price for that puppy. I'll pay you $1.37 now, and I'll pay you 50 cents each week until that puppy's fully paid for." But again, the store owner expressed concern and said, "Look, I really don't think you're going to enjoy that puppy because that puppy can't run and it can't jump and it can't play with you like the other puppies can." And then at that moment, the little boy bent down and picked up his left pant leg. And he showed the store owner his left leg, which was crippled. It was twisted. It was held together by a metal rod. And he says to the store owner, "I can't run well myself either. And that puppy needs someone. who can understand. Love that story because it's a reminder to us that imperfect is perfect. Imperfect is perfect. Our imperfections make us humble. Our imperfections make us relatable. Our imperfections make us compassionate. Our imperfections give us a unique ability to add a special value to the world. Our imperfections give us the advantage to comfort and inspire others who are going through similar situations. Imperfect is perfect. And this is a message that deeply touches me because just like everyone else, I have certain flaws in my life that tend to weigh me down. And I realize that I need to constantly remind myself that imperfect is perfect. I need to constantly remind myself that it's okay that I struggle. It's okay because I'm doing my best and I'm making progress and I'm seeking help and it's okay. I have to remind myself that I don't have to wait until certain issues get resolved in order to feel happy. I can actually enjoy the process. I have to remind myself that I don't have to achieve in order to be happy. I can happily achieve. I don't have to wait. Because really, there is no path to happiness. Happiness is the path. Holler if you hear me. Right? There is no path to happiness. Happiness is the path. We can love the life we have as we build the life we want. We don't have to wait. We can be content without being complacent. Meaning we can truly be content. We can truly be happy about everything in our life right now. And at the same time, we can be fully motivated to improve everything in our life right now. We can love the life we have as we build the life we want. And at the foundation of all of this, we have to keep in mind that life is not happening to us. Life is happening for us. Holler if you hear me. Yes. Life is not happening to us. Life is happening for us. Everything happens for a reason. Quick story, and this is a true story. There was a lady running late for work one morning, all because of her daughter taking too long to get ready for school. And I can imagine she was feeling very angry and frustrated at her daughter for making her late for work. But when she arrived at work that morning, she realized that on this particular morning, it was a very good thing that she arrived late to work. Because this morning was Tuesday morning, September the 11th, 2001, and this lady worked in the World Trade Center. If it had not been for her daughter who made her late for work, she would have been in the building when the planes hit. It's amazing how really our problems are really blessings in disguise. Holler if you hear me. So let's not complain about anything because really our problems can bless our lives in ways that we don't even understand. You know, I want to share with you a very personal reflection that really illustrates this message. You know, when I was in high school, for a while during my high school years, I became very disappointed and very heartbroken because there was this girl who I liked who did not like me back. And it really broke my heart because I felt as though she was my soulmate. Felt like we were made for each other. Like every time I'd see her in the hallways, I would feel a little hypnotized. You know that feeling you get when you see someone that you have a crush on? You know what I'm talking about? When you see someone that you have a crush on, it's like that high feeling. You know what I'm talking about? That high feeling, that's what I felt. Every time I'd see her, I felt that high feeling. And the high feeling was so intense, the physical attraction was so strong, that I thought it was a sign that this was true love. And so when she rejected me, I felt as though my heart split in half, and I became very disappointed and very insecure. I started thinking, what's wrong with me? Why don't girls like me? But an interesting thing happened. As time went by and as I grew older and more mature, I began to look back over that experience and I began to see something that I never saw previously. You see, it wasn't until later on in my life, as I was looking back over my teenage years, that I began to realize that when I was a teenager, I was very immature. And if I would have gotten into a relationship with that girl at that time, because of my immaturity, I would have ended up making some bad decisions. I would have ended up giving in to certain temptations. Because you see, this particular girl, she was involved with some very unhealthy things like drugs and alcohol. And I was aware of it, but I overlooked it because I was so very infatuated with her. I was so very attracted to her that I overlooked the fact that she had these unhealthy habits. I overlooked the fact that she would have had a very negative influence in my life. It's amazing how at the time I was so very disappointed because of her rejection. But now as I look back, I realize that her rejection was a blessing in disguise. Please always remember this. Be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you wish for. Because often in life, the things that look good to us are not good for us. Holler if you hear me. Often in life, the things that look good to us are not good for us. Things are not always what they seem to be. Sometimes even poison is wrapped in beautiful wrapping paper. So please always remember this. Do not follow your heart, lead your heart. Do not follow your heart, lead your heart. And what I mean by that is do not blindly follow your heart. Of course, you want to follow your dreams and your goals and your passions in life. But do not blindly follow your heart. Because at times, your heart can be very deceptive, right? Have you noticed that? At times, our hearts can lead us in the wrong direction. In fact, in many situations, our hearts can get us into a lot of trouble. And so, in other words, what I'm saying is this. Do not live your life based on your emotions. Live your life based on your principles. Wise principles. Because your emotions are not steady. Your emotions are not reliable. In many situations, your emotions can get you into a lot of trouble. So do not live your life based on your emotions. Live your life based on your principles. Wise principles. You know, over the years, I've come to realize that just because you become very physically attracted to someone doesn't necessarily mean that they're a good fit for you. Also, I've come to realize that a relationship that is based solely on romantic feelings and physical attraction will last only as long as the feelings last. There has to be a deeper connection. We have to look beyond the shell. I know it's difficult, right? It's difficult because as humans, we're very visual. But we have to learn how to look beyond the shell, and we have to keep in mind that true beauty is on the inside. You know, for example, I remember when I was in college, for a short period of time, I worked a part-time job on campus at the Disability Support Center. And my job was to assist students who had physical disabilities. And one of the students I assisted was a girl who was blind. She was blind, and also she had like some mental issues. And I remember as I was getting to know her, I started to realize that she faced a lot of social rejection. And she had a very lonely life. And I can relate to that. Because I know what it's like to be rejected. I know what it's like to not fit in. Although, you know, she faced these issues on a much larger scale, but nevertheless, I was able to relate to her. And so I reached out, and it was very nice and kind, and we built a friendship. And I remember it was November, and Thanksgiving was coming up. And I realized that she didn't have a place to go for Thanksgiving. And so I invited her to have Thanksgiving with my family. And she came, and she had a fun time, and she felt loved by my family. And at the end of the night, she turned to me, and she said something to me that I'll never forget. She said, "Lance, you are so beautiful." And those words really shocked me. Because for so long, I felt very insecure about my physical appearance. Because I had an issue with acne all over my face, as well as my back. And so for this blind girl to call me beautiful, it showed me something very deep about life. It showed me that true beauty has nothing to do with our physical appearance. True beauty has everything to do with our compassion and our kindness. Beauty is what beauty does. Holler if you hear me. Beauty is what beauty does. Now I know it sounds so cliche, right? But really, it was so profound for me. Because for the first time in my life, I started to realize that I don't have to rely on other people's opinions to base my self-concept. I started to realize that I can feel beautiful whenever I do beautiful things. I started to realize that I don't have to live for other people's approval. In fact, you know, if you live for other people's approval, you will die by their rejection. Holler if you hear me. If you live for other people's approval, you will die by their rejection. I realize I don't have to live for other people's approval. I realize I can focus on giving the emotion that I want to feel. Because I started to realize that whatever we give to others always comes back to us multiplied. Have you noticed that? The way that we treat others is the same way that we are subconsciously treating ourselves. And so, regardless of what other people are doing, if I can just focus on living my life and just, giving love and encouragement and positivity, I realize that those things will come back to me multiplied. Quick illustration. This is a very powerful illustration about two men who shared the same hospital room. And one of the men was allowed to sit up in his bed for only 1 hour each day in order to drain the fluids off his lungs. His bed was next to the room's only window. The other man, his roommate, had to lay flat on his back at all times. Each day, during that 1 hour period of time in which the man by the window was allowed to sit up in his bed, he would pass the time by looking out the window and describing to his roommate all the beautiful things that he saw going on outside. All the nature and all the people and everything. He described it with exquisite details. And this really entertained and helped his roommate. His roommate began to live for these 1 hour periods of time in which his world would just enliven by all of these descriptions of the outside. This continued on for months. And then one night, the man by the window died peacefully in his sleep. Hospital attendants came in and took the body away. And when it seemed appropriate, the other man asked to be moved next to the window. They honored his request, moved him next to the window, and as soon as possible, he propped himself up on one elbow to take a look outside the window to see for himself all the beautiful things that were described to him for so long. And he was shocked when he saw that the window faced a blank wall. He calls in the nurse and he says, "Nurse, this window faces a blank wall, but my deceased roommate used to describe to me such beautiful things going on outside this window." And the nurse replied, "That deceased roommate was a blind man, and he couldn't even see the blank wall outside the window." He said, "Well, I wonder what would have compelled him to share such beautiful things." And the nurse replied, "He just wanted to cheer you up. He just wanted to help you get through a very difficult period in your life." I love that story. I love that illustration because that blind man, instead of focusing on his problems and his pain, he focused on reaching out and trying to comfort someone else. And in the process of trying to comfort someone else, he felt comforted. It's an amazing principle of life. As we pour into the lives of others, our cups stay full and overflow. Holler if you hear me. Yes, yes. As we pour into the lives of others, our cups stay full and overflow. The secret to living is giving. Because what we give to others always comes back to us multiplied. I just think about how I'm grateful for all the encouragement that I've received in my life. And my gratitude compels me to want to reach out and encourage others. And the awesome thing about it is that as I try to encourage others, the more encouragement comes back to me. Because really, it's so true. We rise by lifting others. Holler if you hear me. Yes, we rise by lifting others. I think about when I was growing up, I tried to play various sports. Basketball, football, track. And I was terrible at all of them. And although many of the spectators would look down on me and or feel sorry for me, I never felt embarrassed or ashamed. Because among all the spectators, there was one spectator, my dad, who was always in the stands watching and sincerely happy to see that I was doing my best. You see, over and over and over again, Dad taught me the concept that as long as you have done your best, then you have won. So despite the lack of sincere encouragement from team members and other spectators, I remain encouraged and inspired and motivated, enthusiastic about getting on the playing field and doing my best. You see, Dad instilled within me an unshakable courage to try. And that courage to try has helped me to go much further than I ever thought I could go. I was labeled a slow learner when I was in school, but yet I kept studying and I became a professional. I was picked on by bullies, but I kept feeding my faith, and over time, those experiences started to build me up rather than to tear me down. I was considered to be ugly when I was a teenager because of all the acne I had on my face and on my back. I was considered to be ugly. But I kept admiring my inner beauty. I kept appreciating my inner beauty. And over time, I began to realize that it really doesn't matter what other people call you. What really matters is what you call yourself. What other people think about you is not important. But what you think about yourself means everything. Because think about this. Think about this. Technically, other people's words can never harm you. Technically, right? Technically, other people's words can never harm you. But it's your own words that can kill you. Holler if you hear me. Yes, other people's words can never harm you, but it's your own words that can kill you. So really, it's your own words, your own thoughts that you have to really guard and protect. It's your own words, your own thoughts that you have to really watch out for, because other people's words, other people's thoughts can never harm you, but it's your own words, your own thoughts that can kill you. You know, there's an old African saying that goes, if there is no enemy on the inside, then the enemies on the outside cannot harm you. If there is no enemy on the inside, then the enemies on the outside cannot harm. I love that quote because I realize that as long as we maintain positive, healthy emotions on the inside, then the negativity that surrounds us cannot touch us. So I know that Dad's legacy will always be in my heart. And wherever I go, wherever I am, I know that Dad is always in the stands. And Dad's legacy is very similar to a quote by Theodore Roosevelt. Theodore Roosevelt once said, "It is not the critic who counts, nor the man who points out how the strong man stumbled, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and comes short again and again, who knows the great enthusiasms, great devotions, and spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst at least fails while daring greatly, so that he shall never be with those cold and timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat." I love that quote because it's a reminder to me that my victory has already been won. I'm already successful. I became successful the moment that I decided to get into the arena and do my best. As Rocky Balboa said in the movie Rocky, I just want to go the distance. And if you remember, in Rocky Part 1, Rocky did not win, but he went the distance, and he proved that real success is not about winning. Real success is about having the courage to try, having the courage to get into the arena, having the courage to step outside of your comfort zone. You see, the walls of your comfort zone, they make you feel safe, but really those same walls are separating you from your dream. In order to achieve your dream in life, you must have the courage to step outside of your comfort zone. Never be afraid of failure. Never be afraid of failure. Because really, failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is part of the pathway to success. Holler if you hear me. Yes, yes. Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is part of the pathway to success. As Michael Jordan once said, "I failed over and over and over again, and that is why I have succeeded." Failure is part of the pathway to success. I love that. Because I realize that what I learn in my valleys helps me get to my mountaintops. What I learn in my valleys helps me get to my mountaintops. But you know, all throughout our journey though, we will often fall down. We all fall down. But only the winners keep getting back up again. Only the winners keep getting back up again. Only the winners realize that we can always start over again no matter what has happened in the past. It's never too late to press the reset button. Did you know that in life there is a reset button? Unfortunately, there is no rewind button and there is no redo button. But in life there is a reset button. And it's never too late to press the reset button and start completely over again. The winners are those that realize that the past does not equal the future. Our biography does not have to become our destiny. And so therefore we do not have to live in the past. In fact, it's very unhealthy to live in the past. Because if you live in the past, you die in the present. Holler if you hear me. Yes, yes. If you live in the past, you die in the present. We must let go of the baggage of the past, but always hold on to the lessons that we've learned from the past. And that's a very key point. Because good judgment comes from experience, and experience often comes from bad judgments. So as long as we always learn from our mistakes, then even our mistakes will become part of the process of our ultimate success. Holler if you hear me. Yes, I get so excited. I get so excited because this material is so real. Let go of the baggage of the past. Hold on to the lessons that you've learned and move forward, move forward. Every time you fall, pick up only the lesson and move forward. This is so very important because in life, all of us have to become one of three things: a potato, an egg, or a coffee bean. If you place a potato in the hot boiling water, the hot water will change the potato into becoming soft, right? If you place the egg in the hot boiling water, the hot water will change the inside of the egg into becoming hard, right? But if you place a coffee bean into hot boiling water, the hot water will not change the coffee bean, but rather the coffee bean will change the hot water. So likewise, as we go through hot water in our lives, we don't have to allow the hot water to change us into something hard and angry, nor soft and weak, but rather we can change the hot water into opportunities to learn and grow stronger. Because really every struggle, every challenge, every form of hot water is really an opportunity to learn and grow stronger. Because remember, our problems are just personal development exercises that are designed to prepare us to achieve our purpose and our destiny in life. Our problems are really blessings in disguise. You know, if I had to summarize this whole message into one sentence, it would be this: turn your problems into power by controlling the perspectives in which you view the situations of your life. If I had to summarize this whole program, it would be: turn your problems into power by controlling the perspectives in which you view the situations of your life. Because it's never the situation that really impacts us. What really impacts us is our perspective of the situation. And by changing and controlling and managing our perspectives, we can turn the problems into power. You know, in other words, we don't have to become a thermometer. We can always be a thermostat. Right? Meaning, a thermometer is an instrument that takes the temperature of the room. But a thermostat is an instrument that changes the temperature in the room. And so as we're dealing with people, and you know, all of us experience from time to time, we all experience negative people, right? Holler if you hear me. We all experience negative people from time to time. And here's the thing, as we're dealing with negative people, we don't have to allow their negativity to change us. We don't have to be a thermometer. We don't have to take the temperature of the room, but rather we can allow our positivity to dominate our emotions and our mindset. We can be a thermostat. Now, of course, these things are easier said than done. And that's why my next point is the most important point of all. Please always remember this. Always remember this. Always stay connected to the source of strength. Always stay connected to the source of strength. Always take time to do things that will strengthen your values and your faith and your beliefs. Because connected to the source of strength, you will have the power to drop the weasels and fly like an eagle. Holler if you hear me. Yes. Awesome. Now, here's the thing, is what we're talking about here today is dropping the weasels, letting go of negative thought patterns, right? And this is something that we all deal with, right? Because all of us, every day, we all have to deal with negative thoughts. You know, research studies have shown that on average, around 60,000 thoughts come through our minds each and every day. 60,000 thoughts. That's a lot of thoughts. And of course, not all of those thoughts are positive and healthy thoughts, right? Even if you are a very positive person, you have to admit that because you're human, a portion of your thoughts each day are negative thoughts, unhealthy thoughts, weasels that we must drop. So every day, drop the weasels. Because either you drop the weasels or the weasels will drop you, right? Yes, drop the weasels. And how can we drop the weasels? We can drop the weasels by focusing, well, here's the thing. We can drop the weasels by replacing the negative thoughts with positive thoughts by focusing on the positive thoughts. Because where focus goes, energy flows. Holler if you hear me. Right? Where focus goes, energy flows. And so by focusing on the positive thoughts, we can fill our minds with positivity. And if our minds are filled with positivity, there's no room for negativity. And we can drop the weasels and fly like an eagle. Now everyone, take a look at your list of quotes. Everyone should have a list of quotes, right? And please put a star next to one of your favorite quotes. Put a star next to one of your favorite quotes. And what I like to do is this. I like to go around the Zoom. We'll go around the Zoom and we'll have volunteers. I'll ask volunteers to share with the whole group one of your favorite quotes. Now, if somebody says a quote you were going to say, it's okay for you to repeat that same quote. All right? Also, here's how we're going to clap for each person. We're going to do the Tony Robbins clap. Looks like this. Whoa, yes. Everybody try that. Whoa, yes. Excellent, excellent. Now, so we'll go around. Now, of course, you know, no pressure. Like if you really don't want to say anything, you could just like, you know, shake your head and I'll skip over you, okay? But I do want to encourage you to share. And because, you know, it's so amazing how like when you share, it's just amazing. When you share positivity, it always comes back to you, right? And this is a great, I love this session. I love this segment of the session because this is a great way to reinforce the messages, you know? All right, so we'll have volunteers share, and then we're going to hear from Ms. Marafatsos what her favorite quote is. All right? So now, Tyler, will you share with us one favorite quote?
I like the first one, the drop the weasel before the weasel drops you.
Whoa, yes. Awesome. Love it, love it. Danielle? Oh, okay, there's two. Okay, wait, okay, so I'm going by my boxes. I see Danielle Turner first, and then we'll swing around. Okay. Whoa, yes. Excellent, excellent. Zoe?
I like when you said even the cracks in our lives are there for a reason.
Whoa, yes. Awesome, awesome. Michael? Oh, Michael Ward.
Can I do any quote or do I gotta pick one?
Oh yeah, no, you can do any quote. You can do any quote, yeah.
I really like the early bird gets the worm.
Oh, I like that. Whoa, yes, awesome, awesome. Danielle?
I like the one about the coffee bean and like turning the water into something instead of the water turning you into something.
Yes, whoa, yes, awesome. Matthew?
My favorite quote was, if you live in the past, you die in the present.
Whoa, yes. Emily?
My favorite quote was, beauty is what beauty does.
Whoa, yes. Nina?
I really like the analogy about the dollar bill and how it retains the same value when you crumble it up.
Whoa, yes. Last name Yarden?
I like what I learn in my valleys helps me get into my mountaintops.
Whoa, yes. Jamie?
I liked failure is the path to success.
Whoa, yes. Jay?
Don't rely on other people's approval.
Whoa, yes. Sasha?
I like if you live in the past.
Whoa, yes. Mia?
My favorite was, we can love the life we have while we build the life we want.
Whoa, yes. Jake?
My favorite was, in life what often looks good to us is not good for us.
Whoa, yes. Elena?
My favorite was, our
Whoa, yes. Violetta?
Mine was everything happens for a reason.
Whoa, yes. Joseph?
I liked there is no path to happiness. Happiness is the path.
Whoa, yes. Camila?
I liked our problems are blessings in disguise.
Whoa, yes. Alicia? Did I say it right? Alicia?
I like other words can't hurt you, but your own words can kill you.
Whoa, yes. Gregory?
I like the happiness is the path.
Whoa, yes. Paolo? Paolo?
I also like the one that said that you're in the past, you die in the present.
Whoa, yes. Awesome. Ari?
I also have the one that was like, it's your own words and thoughts I can kill.
Whoa, yes. Last name Singh?
Yeah, I like the one saying, we can't see the picture because we're standing in the frame.
Whoa, yes. Awesome. Cameron?
Whenever we change our perspective, our whole life changes.
Whoa, yes. Awesome, awesome. Let me go to another page. Okay, let's see now. The boxes got a little bit... Alright, so... Wait a minute. Alright, so... Talia?
I liked even the cracks in our lives are there for a reason.
Whoa, yes. Alex?
This isn't from today, but my all-time favorite quote is, "The hay's in the barn."
Okay, whoa, yes. Alright, awesome. Bria?
My favorite, I don't know, everything happens for a reason.
Ah, whoa, yes. Awesome. Okay, let's see. Last name Flowers?
I like drop the reason before it drops you.
Yes, whoa, yes. Ethan?
I said real success is about having the courage to try.
Yes, whoa, yes. Sarah?
My favorite is life is not happening to us, life is happening for us.
Whoa, yes. And before we get to Ms. Marafazos, did I miss anyone? If so, speak up now if I accidentally missed you. No? Okay, I think we got all the volunteers. Okay, Ms. Marafazos.
My favorite quote is also, what I learned in my valleys helps me get to my mountaintop.
Whoa, yes. Awesome. And one big whoa, yes for the whole class. Whoa, yes. Awesome. Now, guys, I want to ask you for a huge favor. Will you promise that you will share a motivational quote with at least one of your friends or family members today? It could be something from this presentation, or it could be something from somewhere else, or whatever. It could be any type of motivational quote, but will you promise you'll share it? Because you know, I'm very passionate about sharing encouragement because of the fact that it's so true. What we give to others always comes back to us multiplied. We rise by lifting others, you know? So if you promise you're going to share today, whether it's through social media or through just in person, put a thumbs up. Can you do a thumbs up on your thing? I saw somebody do a thumbs up before. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Mia. Okay. Yeah. Emily. Yes. Ms. Marafazzo. Nina. Oh yeah. Gregory. Yeah. I say. Okay. You're gonna share it. Yes. Awesome. Emily. Awesome. Zoe. Yeah. Tyler. Yeah. So now here's the thing. On your notes piece of paper, please write down my name. Claysmile. 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 So on YouTube, I have a lot of YouTube videos, and so if you've enjoyed this presentation, please check out the additional YouTube videos I have on YouTube. If you go to YouTube and keyword search Claysmile, you can see more videos. Also, I'm a dance fitness instructor, so I have a lot of dance videos on there as well. And also on social media, you can find me through Claysmile. My website is claysmile.com. In fact, if you post some motivational some motivational quotes from this presentation on social media, please use the hashtag Claysmile so that when anyone searches Claysmile on social media, they'll see all the different quotes from all the different schools, you know? So please use hashtag Claysmile. And really appreciate this experience with you guys today. So now, hold on to your notes piece of paper. Now everyone, please take out your feedback piece of paper. Feedback. And on your feedback piece of paper, I'd like for you to respond to a couple of questions. Here's question number one. Question number one is this. What is your favorite quote from this presentation and why? Why did you choose that quote to be your favorite quote? Out of all the quotes you heard today, why did that quote stand out to you the most? Let's just take like 1 minute to respond to that question. What is your favorite quote from this presentation and why? Alright, so the first question was favorite quote and why. Now here's the second and final question. And please be totally honest because your feedback, your honest feedback is very useful to me. Here it is. Was this presentation useful to you personally? And please explain your answer. Was it useful to you personally? Was it things that you can actually use in your life? Is it things that maybe you can even use to help other people? You know, was it useful to you? And please explain your answer. Let's just take about like 90 seconds. 90 seconds. Awesome. All right. So, wow, I tell you, time flies. I really enjoyed this experience. Very special thanks to your teacher for allowing me to come in. She brings me in every semester. I appreciate her. And give her a round of applause to your teacher for bringing me in. Thank you. And guys, Ms. Marafatos is going to explain how we will collect the feedback, you know, and everything. So, thank you guys.
Thank you. So this was an awesome experience. If you guys could just unmute yourselves really quick, just give a little clap.